when I started developing the piece. I was drawn to this huge market in China, in the EU, and to this border town in Mexico and California called Calexico and Mexicali. And there's a border wall that divides both cities, but there's a lot of, and so people come from one side to another to work, and then they live on the other side, or they come to shop in Mexico, go back. So there's a lot of back and forth movement, but there's a very big wall that kind of splits through the town. And I was thinking about how, and the market in China, you know, I was amazed by the amount of how all the products you see there, you didn't see all over the world. So I was interested in, from one hand, how certain objects are allowed to circulate the world very freely, it seemed like, and then how, from the other hand, some other objects or products or people are very restricted, and it takes for a long time to get from, you know, to cross the distance between, you know, say like a few meters could be very takes a long time. For example, when I crossed the border back from Mexico back to the U.S., it took me about 4 or 5 hours. You know, it almost takes that time to get, you know, like a toy from China to Europe or something like that. So I was interested in this collapse of distance from one hand, and then like extension, how distance becomes even more pronounced.
It seems commodities are easier to move than people.
Yes, or some commodities. That border is kind of famous for a lot of underground tunnels. So I was sculpturally interested in that. There's like a giant earthwork of, you know, how you can put the border, but then there's always like this kind of like subversion of it from under. So really thinking about it as a sculptor, not so much in this big political sense, just about like divisions of space and distance.
I know that you begin the piece before Donald Trump came into power.
This was very, because when I started thinking about these two places, about the U.S. Mexico border and this market in China, and I was thinking for a while, what is the connection exactly between these two places? And then he started talking all about China and Mexico. So I was like, oh, I guess there was a connection. Like that kind of made the connection more real to me, and kind of proved that, you know, maybe my intuition is okay. Art is always political in a way, and not at the same time. And I think maybe it's free from making clear statements. I hope it's more nuanced than a political statement. And for me, it's about many things. So it's also about composition and color and relationship between people and objects and people and places. And, you know, I hope that, you know, like in a good painting, you look at everything, and then you can also just look at one area in a brushstroke and kind of zone in and have completely other emotions or thoughts or all that. So, you know, it's kind of it's a picture of our kind of a subjective reading of our world right now from a very, as I said, intuitive and textural kind of place. And yeah.